Do you know how much a panhandler actually makes in a day just standing there with nothing but a cardboard sign? No boss, no resume, no alarm clock, just a marker, some cardboard, and a busy American intersection. Some people swear these guys secretly make $50 an hour and drive home in luxury cars. Other people say it's barely enough for lunch. So which one is true? Today, you're getting the real number and a government economist who went undercover with a sign. And fair warning, by the end of this video, you'll never see the man on the corner the same way. Because the truth isn't what the viral videos told you. It's stranger. Let's get into it. Picture the scene you already know. A red light, a man on the median, a sign that says anything helps. The window's up, the doors are locked. And a little voice in your head asks, is this guy making more than me? It's not a crazy question. Every few months, a headline explodes about a beggar earning more than a doctor. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Panhandling isn't really begging. It's a location business. A street corner is a storefront, and the rent is paid in hours of standing. The sign is the billboard. The cup is the cash register. And the traffic light? That's the store's front door. See it that way, and every number here makes sense. Let's meet the man who settled the internet's favorite argument using a spreadsheet. David Spears wasn't homeless. He worked at the Bureau of Labor Statistics in Portland, Oregon. He kept hearing that panhandlers out-earn minimum wage workers. So he did what economists do. He tested it. For 12 days, he stood on corners holding a sign and tracked every single dollar. The result? $11.10 per hour on average. Oregon's minimum wage at the time? $8.95. Read that again. The cardboard sign out earned the burger flipper. But before you type your resignation letter, that average is hiding something brutal. On his best day, he pulled $24 an hour. On his worst day, $5.13. Same man, same sign, same city. A 5x swing, decided by things he couldn't control. And here's the stat that explains everything. Only 1 out of 59 drivers gave him anything. 58 rejections for every yes. That's not charity. That's cold call sales on foot, in traffic. Okay, one man, one city, 12 days interesting, but not proof. So let's zoom out. Way out. In 2023, a researcher published something rare, a review combining 38 separate studies on panhandling income. 15 were American, all adjusted into modern dollars. The verdict? Most panhandlers earn $2 to $16 per hour. Per day? Somewhere between $20 and $60. Per month? $200 to $500. Total, let that sink in. Average American rent is triple the top of that range. And city by city, the picture gets even sharper. Toronto, researchers interviewed panhandlers on the street. The finding? $30 a day. 8 an hour. Las Vegas, 2007, over 100 panhandlers surveyed. Median monthly income? $192. 75% made less than $400 a month. That same study found something else surprising. Only 19% of homeless people panhandle at all. Most homeless Americans never touch a cardboard sign. San Francisco, 2013, 146 panhandlers surveyed. Average take? About $25 a day. 3 cities. 3 decades. One same story? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. By the way, this profession is older than the country judging it. During the Great Depression, a begging culture crossed America. Hobos riding freight trains, chalking secret symbols on fences. A circle with 2 arrows meant get out fast. A smiling cat meant a kind lady lives here. Sound familiar? Marking spots. Reading customers. 90 years later, only the cardboard is new. Same business, always. Find traffic, learn signals, work the location. Now, my favorite detail buried in all this research. The single most common donation in every study, every city, is exactly $1. Not 5, not 10. 1, so a $40 day isn't one generous stranger. It's 40 tiny transactions with 40 different people. Imagine your paycheck arriving $1 at a time from strangers. Quick question. What does this job's toolkit cost? A marker, $2. Cardboard, free, behind any store. A folding stool if your legs give out. A cooler in summer. Total startup cost, under $10. It might be the cheapest business in America to open and one of the most expensive to stand in. That's the job. Now let's walk through a full shift. Let's follow one imaginary worker through a full American day. Call him Mike. Milwaukee, a busy off-ramp on the north side. 7 a.m. morning rush hour. This is the Panhandler's opening bell. Commuters stacked at red lights, coffee in hand, wallets in reach. The best corners get claimed before Sunrise Mike arrives at 6:40. Someone's already eyeing his median. A good rush might bring in $10, $15. Then, just as fast, the road empties. 10 a.m. to noon, the dead zone. An hour of standing might produce a single dollar. That's why half of panhandlers work under 4 hours daily. Not laziness outside rush hours, the corner stops paying. Mike uses the dead zone the way retailers use Mondays resting, moving spots, or lining up at a food pantry. 5 p.m. The evening rush. Round 2. Tired drivers, longer lights, the day's last window of income. By 7, it's over. Count the cup. The average American count, $20 to $60. Dinner tonight, whatever the cup decided. The average panhandler repeats this 17 days a month, no sick days. No safety net below the safety net. 17 days times $30, almost exactly $500 a month. So what separates $20 days from $100 days? Mostly one word. Location. Freeway off-ramps. Long light medians. Big box exits. These are the Times Square billboards of this business. A long red light means a captive audience, 60 seconds of guaranteed eye contact. Police in Coos Bay, Oregon surveyed panhandlers outside one Walmart. The best spots pulled $300 a day. $300 at a small-town Walmart. The corner sets the ceiling. That's why prime corners get defended like property. The street has its own real estate law. And yes, the city matters. A Manhattan corner sees more wallets hourly than a rural exit daily. But big cities mean more competition, police, and trained-away eyes. So some veterans swear by suburbs and truck stops softer hearts. And it's not just where you stand. It's when. December is this industry's Black Friday. Holiday guilt and Christmas spirit can double a day's take. The first week of the month beats the last paychecks arrive. Sunny weekends beat rainy Tuesdays. Game days beat everything. So this job has seasons, peak hours, and market timing just like retail. It's just never written down. Which brings us to this economy's real engine. Not poverty psychology so. The question under this whole video, why do people give? Psychologists say the trigger is rarely logic. It's eye contact. Look away, and the moment passes. Look back, and guilt blooms. Givers report feeling better for hours after a single dollar. Researchers found women, especially with children, consistently receive more. Panhandlers who appear disabled receive more. Signs mentioning veteran status receive more. Which is exactly why some panhandlers fake all three. Sympathy is the product, and some sellers counterfeit it. The sign itself is marketing copy. Anything helps beats need money. Funny beats desperate. Streets have their own copywriting legends. Why lie? I need a beer famously doubled donations honesty, it turns out, is also a sales strategy. One New York experiment proved it with fur and 4 legs. A homeless man named Will made headlines, $200 an hour, just sitting on a sidewalk. But read the fine print. People weren't paying him. They were paying his dog. Strangers handed over an extra dollar just for Rizzo. The man was the business. The dog was the marketing department. And then, the stat that shocked me most. A panhandler's regular donors' familiar faces, week after week, can account for up to half of everything he collects. Half, the corner isn't charity, it's a customer base. Some regulars even know their panhandler by name. Lose the corner, and you lose the relationships too. So what are these people actually buying for their dollar? Not food, not change. A story 5 seconds long, where they get to be the hero. Eye contact, a nod, a God bless you. That's the receipt. It's why cardboard works when a charity billboard doesn't. Be honest. Part of you just whispered, I could do that. People have tried. Journalists, YouTubers, students on a dare. Their reports all agree on two things. First, the money is real, but small. A weekend of standing usually produces $40, maybe $80. Second, and every single one says this, the shame is heavier. Standing in public while strangers decide what you're worth, most volunteers quit within hours, not because of the weather, because of the eyes. One writer lit up when someone handed him a 20. Then he realized that 20 was his entire afternoon. So if the real average is $30 a day, where do the rich beggar stories come from? They come from the outliers. And the outliers are real. An Oregon couple once called themselves affluent beggars, claiming $300 to $800 a day. Stories like that rocket around the world. That's the problem. Because man makes $8 in the rain isn't a headline. It's just the truth. The media never shows you the other 10,000 corners. There's even a name for it, man bites dog journalism. The rare story gets printed because it's rare. The rich beggar is this economy's lottery winner, roughly as common. The boring data, a $300 month, spent mostly on food. And the darker rumor, the begging gangs, vans dropping off professional beggars like a shift change. In some parts of the world, organized rings are sadly real. But in American studies, researchers keep looking for the boss and keep finding independent operators instead. Vegas, San Francisco, Toronto, overwhelmingly individuals working alone. The American panhandler is the world's smallest sole proprietorship. Now flip the receipt over. This job has expenses too. Cost 1. Weather. There's no indoor version of this job. Rain doesn't cancel your shift, it cancels your income. A week of storms is a week of zero. Heat cooks the median, winter freezes it. No walls, no thermostat. Cost 2, the law. And this one has a plot twist. Cities have tried banning panhandling for decades. But American courts keep striking those bans down. Legally, holding a sign asking for help is free speech. Still, the rules are a maze. Some cities ban medians. One Iowa town required business licenses. Stand on the wrong 6 feet, the day ends in a citation. And after dark, the math changes again. A visible cup of cash makes you a visible target. Cost 3. Competition. Prime corners have invisible waiting lists. Cost 4. The body. Exhaust fumes, sunburn, and 58 rejections an hour. Researchers call it among the most psychologically exhausting jobs anywhere. And now a 5th cost one that might end this profession. Cash is dying. Tap to pay. Phone wallets. Cards, no cash is now usually true. A loose change business can't survive a country with no loose change. Some have adapted, signs with payment app usernames, even CR codes. Begging is going digital, even the bottom rung is updating. So who is the man on the corner? Really? In city studies, roughly 8 out of 10 panhandlers are homeless. In San Francisco, 1 in 4 had served in the military. Most aren't running schemes. Most are running out of options. Why do people start? Researchers ask that too. The top answers: food, rent shortfalls, and benefit gaps. For many, the corner is a bridge between failed safety nets. Track the money, and the biggest spending category is simply food. The wealthy con artist exists, yes, but he's the lottery winner, not the job description. One detail nobody mentions: the IRS considers panhandling income taxable. In practice, a cash economy. No receipts, no W-2s, no audits. So let's run the comparison you're secretly wondering about. A $15 job, full-time, pays about $31,000 a year. The documented panhandling average, $2,400 to $6,000 a year. Untaxed? Sure. Still not close good corners. Good days, good dogs, the sign still loses. Badly, and remember, a job comes with insurance, sick days, a future the sign comes with none of that. How does it compare to other street hustles? Street musicians in busy subways can out-earn sign holders, but only with a skill, a permit, and a prime pitch. Selling scavenged cans pays by the pound and by the mile. Plasma donation pays more per hour twice a week, max, on the street's income ladder. The cardboard sign sits near the bottom, so at your next red light, should you actually give? Experts genuinely disagree. Some say direct cash is the fastest, most respectful help. Others say a window dollar keeps someone on the corner while the same dollar at a shelter stretches further. This video can't decide for you. But now you know the numbers. So the final math. The number you clicked for. A typical day, $20 to $60. A great corner on a great day? Maybe $100. A typical month? $200 to $500. A typical year? $2,400 to $6,000. The federal poverty line? More than double the top of that. The man you thought out earned you lives below America's lowest line. So no, the corner is not a secret gold mine. It's the most visible poverty America has. Which leaves the question this video was secretly about. If the money is this bad, why does cardboard work at all? Because a panhandler was never selling need. He's selling a 5-second story where you're the hero, and the price of feeling like a good person has never changed. $1. If this changed how you see that corner, subscribe. Because next time, we're counting somebody else's cup.